Stop number 5, the unique wooden nickel antiques, a city cornerstone. This was started over 40 years ago by resident Mike Williams, a buddy, $400 in an old van. He has salvaged everything antique, including doors, glass bars, tall pillars, and everything else that comes inside of a home. Mike was working as a rock and roll roadie when he first felt the pull for collecting old stuff, as he said. He recalled it while watching a demolition of an old Mount Auburn house, and was saddened that its contents were just being thrown away. He even went into the house after crews left and salvaged what he could. During this time as an antique dealer, he faced protests and finger pointing, some calling him and his friend Tim Miller demolishers and anti-preservationists. But Williams persevered. Nowadays his skills are so revered that even his very high-profile neighbor, the Cincinnati Music Hall, called on Mike and the Wooden Nickel to remove its 12 delicate crystal chandeliers to their warehouse while its $135 million renovation was underway. Williams said that since 1976, Wooden Nickel has bought and removed the architectural contents of nearly 3,000 buildings, some of which hadn't been touched in 50 to 75 years. Williams carries on today with no plans of retiring. He says his job is never routine, it's always exciting. Wooden Nickel houses hundreds of pasts, all in one building, each antique piece with a unique story, an untold secret to tell. Known to paranormal researchers for ages, objects are known to absorb and hold energies of their past. This is why the occurrence of haunted dolls, chairs, or even mirrors is a regular topic spoken about in the paranormal community. A quick Google search brings you to a list of cursed objects with laundry lists of occurrence attached to them. Some are even stored in vaults to prevent their energies from interacting with the living. It is believed that if a tragic event occurs involving an object, whether it is directly involved or by a favorite possession of someone else is involved, that object is now haunted by a spirit or a negative energy. Think Robert the Doll, Annabelle, or a diebuck or a demon box. Some people who acquire these haunted objects are reported to become injured shortly after their acquisition, or even die due to the object. Some are skeptical about an inanimate object's ability to hang on to energy, but one antique dealer in Utah tells us of a different tale. He told a local news station, KSL-TV, that each object has its own spirits. Humans have the ability to leave part of their essence, part of their soul, as it were, in something that they have created or used. Even if that energy is innately negative. He even hired a medium to come to his shop to speak to the spirits that were there, attached to his antiques. She reports speaking to multiple spirits, explaining their stories, how they didn't like the idea of their items being sold to strangers. But some spirits just wanted to come along with their items. They were so attached to them in the physical realm that they could not bear to leave them after they had passed on. When we visited Wooden Nickel, we approached a couple of older gentlemen checking out some of the antique relics here. We asked them if they had ever been here before. Have they ever bought anything? The usual. One of the men said he had been here on multiple occasions and did not tell his wife. He laughed and proceeded to tell us of an old farming tool he had purchased here and brought into his den to display. I got this old shovel type tool. You can tell it's really old. I hung it up in my den and my wife hates it. But I really like how it looks. Now one weekend we were having breakfast and we heard a loud metal clang. I got up to investigate and the shovel had fallen off the wall. The strange thing is, it had to have been lifted off the wall, you know. I had hangers that attached it to. The hangers were still in the wall and I asked myself, now how in the heck did the shovel get to the floor? I tested it. You must lift it off the hooks. There's no way it fell on its own. After that, my wife forbade me from ever coming to buy anything again there. But here I am. Antiques really draw a man in. We promised not to contact his wife, and even his friend chuckled and went on their way. We drew the conclusion that maybe the previous owner was trying to get some farm work done, wondering why his tool was hung up on a den's wall for decoration instead of out in the barn. Of course, not every object is cursed with negative energy. With buying antiques should not be avoided whatsoever. Paranormal investigators recommend using common sense, your intuition, and truly respecting the pieces of the past. You never know, the original owners may be right there in the checkout line with you, wanting to be brought home.